Have any questions for me, drop it in the comments. I wanted to stop by and say hello as I have a few minutes to be here. As we know, June is summertime and I'm a mom of three. So listen, we have a lot going on for June being a mom of three. I wanted to stop by to say hello, to thank everyone who showed up for the conference. The ALF Caregivers Conference 2025 was amazing. We were able, with the help of God, all of my amazing volunteers and all of my sponsors and all of the people who showed up to receive knowledge, no fluff. We were able to deliver so much value at the ALF Caregivers Conference. We exceeded our capacity for the event, and I honestly would just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself, for participating, for taking notes, and for being here for you. A couple of things. So you know I like to educate. So yesterday I was on a call with someone who is looking into potentially putting her property up for assisted living. So she owns the property and she is looking for ways to rent the property to an operator. So I get a lot of real estate questions, and then I got on a call with somebody else. He wanted to find out what are the strategies that he can use to start the ALF business. So he currently have a home and he's trying to figure out, should he use his primary residence for the ALF, or should he go and rent another property for the ALF, or should he go and buys, right? So many perspectives with ALFs. So the first one, if we want to talk about the first one, where someone owns the property, they don't necessarily want to manage the business, right? They don't necessarily want to be the operator for the ALF, but they want to know how to make the property attractive to operators, to people who actually want to manage and operate the ALF. So I'm going to go into a few things right quick. So for the property to be attractive for an operator, so you as the landlord, here are a few things that you can do to make the property more attractive. First, make sure that the property is zoned for assisted living or residential community home. That's what the umbrella is called. And then once you know that, and you've completed the paperwork, you've actually completed the zoning paperwork, that's when you really should go into the conversion process, right? So to make the property attractive, one, submit the zoning paperwork, pay the small fee, make sure you have your zoning taken care of. The next thing you can do, one of the biggest pain points for operators is, why should they come and invest all this money for fire alarm, fire sprinkler, generator, reserve gas system? These are quite a bit of initial investments, right? Why should they come and have all of those things installed into your property that belongs to you, even though they will get a long-term lease, right? 5 years or more. And after the lease is expired, or when the lease is expired, the landlord still have the say-so to say, no, I won't renew your lease. And now they've invested all of this money into your property. So if you know that this is a big pain point, what you can do is you can decide to make the investment into your own property, get those major installations completed, and then you can then say, here, the property is zoned. I have all of the major installations done already. Here is the property. This is how much I'm renting it for. Go and get licensed. And then they hire someone like me to help them go through the licensing process. But you as the landlord become very attractive to an operator who wants to open an ALF, and perhaps they don't have the money to purchase their own property. They didn't want to come and invest all this money into your property when ultimately you have the final say so. And now they're able to come to you and focus on getting licensed and focus on still getting that long-term lease and not come up with all of this money into your property, right? So, of course, this is not a plain black and white situation. There's a lot of gray areas. You can even negotiate. For example, if you want to say, let's negotiate, maybe I'll do half and you do half. Maybe instead of a 5-year lease, we can do a 10-year lease, a 15-year lease. Those are some ways that you can look into. Okay, so that's for the landlord looking to make their property more attractive, for an operator who wants to open an ALF there. Now, the other scenario where someone has a house, right, and they're wondering, should I convert this house into an ALF, but I don't have a place to go? Should I convert the house and then go rent a place to live? Or should I go and buy another property? Or should I look for a property like the example we used earlier with the landlord? So which one is the most desirable? Which one is more feasible? So I have had clients, in fact, one of my clients that I did help open an ALF rented their home to the ALF business, meaning they converted their home into an ALF and then they moved out and went to go rent a place to stay temporarily while they are looking for a home to purchase so they can live, for a new primary residence. These are some things to consider. Of course, if you're going to buy a house, you're going to expect to spend more money. If you're going to rent and convert your house into an ALF, perhaps that's the most ideal. But then again, the choice belongs to you. Or if you're going to find a landlord who may have already made their property attractive to operators, and perhaps this is the most ideal to you because you're just coming in, not converting because they've already done the conversion. You're just coming in focusing on the licensing aspect, and that's one way that you can get into the business. So there are so many different strategies, and if you have a specific scenarios, I do have a 35-minute strategy consultation that you can book with me, and you can let me know exactly what your situation is, and we can dissect it, and I can give you some ideas of, you know, how that would work. Consider that I not only help people achieve ALF licenses throughout the state of Florida, I'm also a real estate investor. So that's something that I don't usually talk about, but I have the knowledge, and that's something that I also do. And so when you speak with me, the fact that I am a real estate investor, I help people get licensed, I know the rules, I've been doing this for so long, I speak with investors, with people who are trying to get into the business on a regular basis, you'll be able to present your scenario and get my direct feedback of what would be the best case scenario. Ultimately, the decision is yours. My goal is to educate you so that you are educated enough to make the best choice for you, for your situation. And then besides that, we have the Thriving Circle community. We have it on sale this month because we just had the ALF Caregivers conference. The room was packed. The room was packed, full of value. We are still posting the after event videos. You can watch some of them. Some of the longer ones will be on YouTube, but the full event recording will be inside of the Thriving Circle community. So if you want to know everything that happened at the conference, the entire conference was recorded. Have the Thriving Circle community on sale. You'll be able to join it, and you'll be able to not only get direct access to me, I'm the one who conduct those meetings, and you'll also be able to have other extra knowledge and education that we provide inside of the community. My goal is to educate you, help you choose what is best for your situation, and to provide you the resources, because I don't know everything. I'm not trying to know everything. I am very freedom focused. So I'm not trying to have my calendar booked with everything. I want to be able to enjoy life, to pick up and go as I please, to, put everything down and jump in the pool with my kids. That's what I like. But besides that, I love when someone comes into my community. I love to see, for example, when someone asks a question in my community and I see one of my students answer that question as if I answered it. I love that so much, because at the end of the day, it is education that sets you apart. When you have education, you have resources, you're able to make the best choice for you. I want you to know that we are looking for a 2 days event based on the requests that we get. You will have the option to purchase both days. Ideally, day 2 will be more in-depth implementation. Ideally, get both days to get the most out of the event. But we do know some people may not be able to do both days. You will not have to pay for both days. You have the option of choosing just one day, whichever day is best for your schedule. You can get your tickets as we speak. Go to the link in bio, be able to get your ticket. We did sell out very quickly for the 2025 conference, which has just happened. So don't wait too long. And I know some people say, oh, we're going to sell out, just to kind of like build anticipation. But when I say that, I don't just want to rush you. It's because I have the stats and I can see if you don't get your ticket, you're not going to make it. So I hope you found some education in this and you learned some stuff. Until next time, talk soon.